Happy Friday, everyone. You would not believe how little time I had to spare to get back in this seat, and was certainly not planning on doing a live from here, as you can probably tell. Let's see. First in the house was Wrong English. He couldn't believe it himself. We got a reminder here, if you have yet to register for the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals, there is the link. Got a lot of pre-registrations already, so you want to get in on that. And I'll remind you guys, we've got a grace period during the month of January if you were registered last year to use your Edelbrock Incentives discount. But if you want to renew that, please get your registration in this month. Frankenstein is here, Dr. Frankenstein. Happy New Year, everyone. How's the beard there, Santa? This is about as much as you get out of me, but I've been down here working all week and have not shaven yet. A mess. Mohawk is here. Mexican Spec, Buff Del Campo. Dan E. Boyd. Levi is here. Rabbit Transit J. Bigfoot Mark. Buff Del Campo, first person asked if I cut my forehead. Took 2 minutes. Yeah, I smacked myself in the head with a pry bar trying to pull a nail out doing subflooring in a double wide yesterday. This is as far as I got. So if you're wondering why there's a split mall there, that's because that is the best tool for getting old chipboard flooring out of a double wide. They glue it down on the joist. It's a huge mess, but that's the best tool I've found for getting it off of there, splitting, getting it up. But that little unfinished area there, I was pulling a nail out and the pry bar flew back and smacked me in the forehead. Nobody's fault but mine, but it still doesn't feel any better. This was much more swollen yesterday. Looked like I had a golf ball on the front of my head, but it's not bad. Let's see here. Pure Pontiac Garage. Glad you could make it. The Mid-South Lowballer, who is currently running the No Name 500. He's in 3rd place. He's closing in on his first 100 subs. So go check him out if you get a chance. Danny Boyd says trailer floors are like car floors. Oh, no, car floors are much better. Trailer floors are horrible. They glue the stuff down. It's particle board glued down on the joists. Clearly never meant to ever be serviced. But this one's just got to be done. Colleen never got a notification. Well, that's because I didn't have the live up early. I literally put this up about 6 minutes ago. We were up tensioning a tarp. I planned on being back before now, but anyway, didn't happen. So now Danny Boyd is saying big wide blade bit on air hammer. That's probably about the best way. Something like that. I can tell you the little Dremel tools that reciprocate, the oscillator Dremel tools, mine does not cut it on that. Just doesn't like it. The smooth bit is probably the best. Race Array is in here somewhere. Vic is here, stopping by. Howdy. Junkyard D. There's Race Array. Dizzy Izzy says, good evening. Howdy. Yeah, the nice thing about Fridays is when I'm down here working, it kind of forces me to get back and do all the long overdue laundry and throw stuff away and take care of stuff, where I actually do live and all of that. But it's kind of not, when I spend more time up here, I get more stuff nicer, more done. I've been cleaning up at my tree house and trying to make it slightly more livable. I'm a mess, man. I mean, it's getting work done that has to be done. Thumper's talking about something that, call him up. Give him a call. I need to email him anyway, so yeah, give him a call. He's pretty good like that. He might be out of the office or something, but he's been excellent. At least all reports. Turbo Tom says all vacation days are set for the year. Well, I certainly hope I know where some of them are. Exactly, Fred. I don't know. Some people have been out. I got a pile of mail for one of my deadbeat tenants that had to be evicted, and there was a whole bunch of collection stuff in there. Local businesses. I'm like, good luck collecting these invoices. And I was calling them up saying, well, this is where she's living now, so now they can start sending their tidal wave of junk mail over there. They were glad to get that info, though, gosh, what a mess. Mexican Spec, Christmas was a mess this year, and I didn't do anything, and I'm sorry. However, I'm not going to wait until Christmas of next year to make up for it. Frazzled is a good descriptive word for me today. I don't know, maybe. I don't think, what's frazzled get you? Ben and I have been working. We got a tarp over this massive hole in the world over here. It looks like the Grand Canyon on the back of the shop. So I had to wait for the first rain to center the tarp and then put a drain hole in it. And so I went four-wheel driving back in there. Shall I show them a picture of the damage from the inside? Mm-hmm. Let's see here. it's so, oh gosh. So there's the tarp. Not used to that. I'm looking for my camera and it's not there. There's the tarp where it caved in, full of water. Now, it didn't look like much, but I don't know how much was in there. What do you think? Probably 10 gallons? Probably. I mean, so you're talking 80 pounds of water in the middle of that tarp. So we had to get rid of that, and it was a mess. And then we're going to ask the Mac Tools man if that cart's under warranty. We'll see what he says. Oh, goodness. It's a mess, and we're going to start working on the cleanup here real soon. But, amazingly, I actually went back in there to look today, and it's surprising what all survived. Like, I think your sandblast cabinet, from what I could see, looks like it's still there and everything. You probably have to put a window in it, but it may have survived everything. It's behind some of the rubble. So I don't know. It's not good, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Here's where we were working out back. There's the old church, and then putting that tarp up. I mean, what is that hole? It's 30 feet or 40 feet by probably 20 by 40 feet. Yeah. It's a huge hole in the world back there. So anyway, we didn't anticipate on all that today. Yeah, above, but now the tarp is on it. That is correct. Andrew Nelson is here. Hello, sir, and thank you for registering for the No Name Nationals. Team Nivlac 57 is planning, at least, to be in Sykeston. And, there's a whole lot of life that can happen between now and then, but really be looking forward to seeing those guys get to come back. Mark Sove, Heavens Mopar Scott. Race to Ray's trying to get a pickup done out of his shop. His charity work can get so expensive. Oh, yes. Isn't that the way? Levi's. And we were buffering. So Levi wants to know, can you order Milwaukee batteries from you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can order. What is it, you got a website or just call a shop? Yeah. You want me to give them the number? Yeah. If you want to call the shop, it's 304-325-9262. Larry's Pneumatic Service. Ben can hook you up. Authorized Milwaukee dealer. Either that or he's like an episode of Sopranos and hit a big shipment over here because there's thousands of bucks of Milwaukee stuff sitting right there. Making the church into a home, that would be an enormous negative. Although some people probably have. I think we saw some of them today. Yeah, who knows? Left Turn Dodge, howdy. Yeah. Ceiling must have fallen on the cable too. No, it was buffering, but this just happens. I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't have my studio lights, so I got a shadow going. I don't have my number. I did not plan on doing the live from here, but I did bring my laptop. So, Drag Boss Tim, howdy, how's it going? If you guys have not been keeping up, there is some great content on Drag Boss's channel. He's been doing stuff with Darren Morgan, and some of his shorts are just like the most insane amount of great info packed into 2 minutes for a short that you can watch. Darren Morgan was talking about porting, like the valve throat area in the head, and it's just so interesting stuff at that level, the stuff that he knows. So if you haven't yet checked that out, go over to Drag Boss Garage and look. And he's also got a channel membership over there. And I bet you, because you can see the headlines on the videos for members, his member section looks like it has a really deep treasure trove of engine building info over there. So just say it. I'm seeing some great stuff over there on his channel. Left Turn Dodge, set up 2 Milwaukee Rovers, no more shadows. Well, normally I have lights and off. I'm planning on doing a live from here. I was not planning on it, but it works right out. So we are at, for those who don't know, we are at Larry's Pneumatic Service in downtown Bluefield, West Virginia. Levi says, I don't care where they came from if the price is right. Getting hot parts is something I find interesting. No, he's a legit Milwaukee dealer. Your warranty center for how many different brands?
Most of the major brands.
Pretty much all of them. Milwaukee, Makita, Bostitch, and I guess DeWalt and some others. Karcher electric pressure washer's your favorite though, right? If you guys ever bring a Karcher electric pressure washer in here, you better be prepared for there to have been an accident upon delivery. So that Busy Izzy says, I have a 1900 Iron School bell from Henry County, Tennessee schools. Be a good church bell. Maybe that sounds cool. The church bells ring for like 10 minutes here, don't they? There's a church next door, the Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Oh, they got 3 churches within a block of here, and they. Yeah, and then another one with the roof caved in. There's another one with the roof caved in. Turbo Tom says the church in our town has 6 apartments in it. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, so I'll tell you a crazy story here from one time. One of my agents told me about, and this has been, gosh, I bet this was 15 years ago, maybe close to 20 now, told me about a 6-unit apartment building in Bluefield at this particular area, and said they wanted $59,900 for it. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I want to check that out, right? So I go over there and I park behind this, what was an old car dealership. And this is in the middle of the afternoon. I'm just walking around. He didn't know exactly the address, but he told me what intersection near where it was. And I saw this really nice house, big old huge house. And it had 5 electric meters on the side. I thought, well, that's odd. It's got 5 meters, but it's a 6-unit building. I said, well, if this is $59.9, I'm taking it right now. We're doing this today because it looked great. But it had the 5 meters. I thought, that's not something not right about that. And about that time, some people were walking down the sidewalk, and I said, I hear there's a 6-unit apartment building for sale over here. So I was wondering if this is it, because it's got 5. They said, oh, no, you're talking about that one over there. And so 1 block away is what they were talking about. So I start walking. Oh, you're not walking over there, are you? These people said. This is on the other side of where Little Caesars is. Okay, over there, right? Yeah, not the good side, the bad side. So anyway, I start walking. Oh, you're not walking over there. I said, oh gosh, I got to thinking about it. If these people said that, there's probably a good reason not to. So I get in the car and I drive up and I go down this little alley, and then I see it. It's got the 6 meters. It actually matches the description. I slowed down, stopped. I took a picture of it, and I thought, oh, this is promising, right? This actually looks like it might be okay. And then I start driving up the street, and I see, some hoodish-looking individual in the puffy coat and all the stuff come running out, looking at me driving up the street, getting on the phone. I'm like, ooh, I don't care for that. So I drove up the street, and then it was a dead end. Then when I came back down, there were 4 of them trying to stop me from leaving. I guess they didn't like me taking a picture of their building. And these characters did not look like good tenants. But anyway, I did not stop. I was not stopping. I drove right through. They were yelling, trying to stop him, like, nope, not happening. Left, ran the stop sign, got out of there. About 2 blocks later, I take my phone. I said, I am not interested in this at any price. Forget that. What a mess. In this town, you got to really know. I mean, 1 street to the next is the difference between war zone and okay. That's just literally. Like his brother lives, 5 or 6 blocks from there? And it's a great neighborhood, right? But this is just the militarized zone. It's amazing. You got to really know. You just got to really know in this area to do anything. And so this one of them, I was ready to do it today. This one, not for any money.
Which is like the guy that works at the water company. They go down Union Street. They got police escort.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of just mega trashy places around here. But anyway, somebody did buy it, and they evicted all that. And I don't know what they put in it. And I think they actually tore it down, come to think of it. I think they wound up tearing the building down. So I don't know. Who knows? But that's the trying to deal with this town. Drag Boss Tim says he's got 248 channel members. Says thanks. Hey, I think that's great. You've earned them. You got great content over there. Old McDonald says more snow on the way up here. Rabbit Transit J says, I am in the pump industry. Replace the Karcher with a cat pump. That's what Jay recommends. I would tend to go with that. Jay knows a lot of stuff. Ginger says, there used to be church bells every hour you could hear from our temporary town offices. There's a lot of that here. Okay. Mohawk says we could get 3 to 4 inches of rain in the next 12 hours. We'll be okay, but my driveway might be flooded. Yikes. Heavens Mopar Scott says, just sold the 68 Coronet for $7,000 with no title. Wow. $5,000 is going to AMD for the complete back half for the CUDA. The other $2,000 for a TA exhaust system. Sacrifices we make. Easy come, easy go. Well, I hope you made some money on it. 68 Coronet's got a lot of 1-year only stuff on it, and it makes them a little bit more of a pain. But I don't know. I don't think it's much worse than 69 Coronet. 69 is kind of more popular, but I love the 69 Coronet. If I was going to pick one bucket list car, it would be very hard for me not to pick a 69 Coronet Super B. They just look amazing. And they made so many fewer Super Bees and Roadrunners too. But who knows? Left Turn Dodge says, I love both 68 and 69, but like the 68 side marker. Jason's asking if the gum is still sitting there. Oh, yes, the very same gum is still sitting there. We were going to use it as supports for the roof back there because we figured it was more stable than what was already under it. The 68 side marker is cool. I really do like it. It's unique. It's a retrofit. You know, it was kind of like the last minute, oh, crap, we got to have a side marker, so let's just stick that on the fender. They did it, but I'll tell you what, it was pretty neat. I like it. It's simple. It's a 68 only thing. I like it. I'm with you on that one. Really, though, the only side markers, when you get right down to it, that are, in my opinion, proper side markers are 69, 70, and 71. Those are the only ones that are made to go in the body. Because 67 down didn't have them. 68 was a Band-Aid. They stuck the universal on there. And then 72 and up was all that universal bubble style. You know, now we're getting away from nice integrated body stuff, and they stuck that on there. So really, there's only 3 years that truly have a proper side marker, 69 through 71. Andrew Nelson says his bucket list car is a 68 Coronet. There's a nice looking 68 Coronet down the street from me. The guy's got a blue 68 Coronet. It's got RT badges. Maybe it's a Coronet RT. I'm pretty sure it's got a 440. Ooh, Heaven Scott. I have a solid 69 Coronet roller I may be sacrificing also. Oh, gosh, don't tell me that. I love the 69 Coronet. Buff likes the 68 side markers, best side markers. I would agree with that. I got no problem with that. I think they're really cool. I like those little round ones, but it was just kind of an afterthought. They just stuck them in the fender. Bad Tree Blake says, till the 80s, the trucks used those side markers. The little round ones? No. I don't think. I thought the trucks used one integrated in the fender too. Till the 80s? Send me a picture of that, man. I was thinking that they had regular side markers too. Oh, McDonald, I missed my 69 Coronet. Yeah. Rabbit Transit J. Hey, Scott, still bringing the Duster to No Name Nationals? We'll see. 72 up. Okay, yeah, you're right. And those little universal bubble ones, they had those on like the Dodge Omni up in the mid-80s. Does anybody here know what the last year for the 72 side marker light was? I've seen it as late as about 85 or 6. The very same one. Drag Boss Tim says, buddy's looking for a Pro Street style Mopar, turnkey or roller. Well, this is a good place to ask. Wrong English says, he made me realize I grew up way country, unknowing a center city potential of a bad experience. Yeah. I like my little treehouse here, but I would rather never have another neighbor. I probably got one more move left in me, and I'd like to move out in the country just a little bit, just have enough room to do stuff, you know? Like right now, I want to put up a building, like maybe a 20 by 30 building. Well, even on my half-acre lot that lays terribly, I can't find a good spot for it because they threw the house and the garage in a weird place. The lot's shaped funny. It's got terrible topography, and I can't find a good way to put a building on it. At least it'll be inconvenient everywhere it is. I really just need to move one more time. Money is not an issue. Okay. Anybody knows anything for Tim, let him know. When I was a kid, we had a 68 Coronet. I want one the same dark. Oh, yeah, dark green is the color. Love it. My uncle has a 69 Super B clone, and it's that dark forest green metallic. Beautiful car. He'll never see daylight in his lifetime, maybe or his son's. Who knows? Okay, Mexican spec. I knew he'd know. They used them on the second generation Dodge trucks as the front side marker until 1993. So there you go, Blake. Moved to flipping Arkansas. There you go. That's the answer. They got you see, if you go there, they got a nice straight stretch there and everything. You got it all. Thumper says money is not an issue, it's a problem. Yeah, I don't know. That's how you want to look at it. Put a land dump sign on the property, have it built up for free. No, not a chance. Not a chance. Well, I don't know. I got options. Like, I bought a lot line adjustment from the neighbor years back so that I could make the garage 32 to 35 feet longer. And the only problem with that is it's going to take a little bit of grading. Shouldn't be any rock, but a little bit of grading. And it's going to take a bunch of big pine trees down. I'm like, man, to do all that first, I don't know. It would just be so much better. There's a building down the street from me that if that thing ever came up for sale, I'd be all about it. I hope I could afford it, but it's square in the middle of the neighborhood, but it's just a big old garage on a lot. I'm not crazy about, the way they did the garage, but it would be worth it to me if I could get it reasonably. Buff Del Campo bought a complete set of 72 side markers from Mexican Spec for that Valiant El Camino. They're calling it the Del Camino. Okay. Patrick Floorboard Cheney confirms. Yes, we do have a nice straight stretch there. Left turn Dodges back in 1999. I cut up a nice 69 Coronet roller to make a stock car. It was a really good car. Ooh, yeah, well, in 1999. But even in 99, a 69 Coronet was valuable. Dizzy says to Andrew Nelson, there's a 68 Coronet four-door in medium green with under 100,000 miles, 7,000. That doesn't sound bad at all. That really doesn't. I'll tell you what I thought was cool. If you've ever seen that movie Death Wish, the first one, I remember there's a couple scenes in the movie where is a 69 Coronet taxi cab. And I think it was orange in the movie. But what I thought was really cool about it was the taxi cabs had a floor pan that was about 2 inches deeper in the back so that you had more passenger leg room. At least I hear. I've never actually measured one. But another thing they had, and you never see these at swap meets, but you'll see them in this movie, they had these really extra tall bumper guards. Like the normal ones are probably about like yay big. These are twice as tall. They're really weird looking. But anyway, the 69 Coronet taxi cab in the movie Death Wish has them. And some other cars did too. And I don't know why. And the funny thing is, you never see those. Like I've never even seen any at junkyard. Have no clue. Oh, what happened to my head? I was working on a floor for those. I knew somebody would ask me. I was working on a floor in my rental house. There's Billy. We'll come back here and say hi. So that big lumber and UPS truck you're hearing behind you is Big Bill. You've never been on this side.
I have never been on this side.
There you go.
Wolfpack.
Working on this, I had a pry bar fly back and it just slipped. Hit myself right in the forehead with it. Working on that floor. Bad Tree Blake says Mega Parts in Coon Valley, Wisconsin makes those side markers. They repop. Lots of little hard to find stuff. That's cool. Heavens Mopar Scott's. He said, had to take the year off, being accountable to my wife to work on the house all year. I'm free now. Thumper said, you fell down working on the floor? No, I hit myself in the face with a pry bar. I was trying to pull a nail out of that threshold, and it slipped off the nail and wham, got me. Felt great. The swelling's down a lot. It's not real swollen now. It is a little bit, but not like nothing like it was. Left little marks, no big deal.
Houston, but they've done a lot better than some of the others.
Like on the Blues Brothers bumper guards? No, I've never seen any like these. I don't know if I can find a picture of this or not just on Google. Let me look, actually. Somebody may have imagery. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's the car I'm talking about. Oh, no. Well, okay, this is not the one I'm talking about. I don't think this is the one, but there's the bumper guard, and that's on a 68 Coronet. See how tall that is? And nobody likes them on the Coronets. Nobody likes them on the Coronet anyway, the way it intersects the bumper, but look how tall that is. Now, you never see these at swap meets or anything. I think they're kind of cool. And they had them on the 69 Coronet. Let's see if I can find. I can't find one handy. So anyway.
Where'd y'all eat at tonight? We did. Oh, you did?
Buffdale Campo wants to know how my leg is doing. It is much, much, much better. Still got to be careful with it. It still feels a little weak, but it's a whole lot better than it was. I'm able to walk a whole lot better now. Wrong English says I'd take the scar instead of nicking the water line, replacing the commode floor on the second floor, water sprayed everywhere. Well, I've done that. That I've done too. Indirect connection. I wonder if that was a taxi thing to keep rear bumpers out of the radiator. It could be. I don't know. I mean, you don't see them very often. I've only seen them really in that movie. But I found another Google image result for them. It's obviously a factory part. I don't know when I've ever seen any in person. I don't think I ever have. Kind of neat. I wouldn't put them on anything. They don't look very good. But they're definitely made for more business than the other ones. Kind of wild. I mean, some cars don't even have them, and now you got these, and you got some that are even taller. I mean, I've never had a car that had them. Danny boy, the bumper guards are all the same. You cut them to fit whatever bumper. Well, it's factory part. I mean, it's stamped. Stinger Salvage is here. Hello, sir. Glad you could make it. Aaron is here from the other side of the world. Junkyard D asks, anyone have recommendations on getting graying out of wear areas on hardwood? Graying out of wear areas on hardwood? I don't really know. I don't know. We got some people here that do flooring. You know who would be a real good one to ask? I think Frankenstein C20 does flooring. He'd be a real good one to ask. That's who I would ask. Evans Mopar Scott got a Nick doing the same thing. He was roofing a house, missed with a nail gun. I was downward about 6 feet from him, very blessed. Yikes. Tree Murderer says bleach has a shot of getting that graying out. Sand and stain, well, yeah, sand and stain will probably do about anything.
Monday, Thursday, like normal.
Yeah, I would ask Frankenstein C20. He would be, because that's what he does. We got a professional in practically every field that comes in the chat here. It's kind of neat. And we'll see if I can find that. I bet I can find it. Yeah, there it is. There's the one from the movie. That's the one, the scene I was thinking of and everything. That's it. That's it. 69 Cornet taxi, kind of a red color. Anyway, it's stuff on my screen. But there it is. You can see how tall those bumper guards are. Kind of cool. I mean, they make a great driver, but I've just never seen them outside of that movie. Let's see here. Got to stain it and call it good tomorrow. There you go. There's Frankenstein C20. Hey, what say you on Junkyard D's question there? The best way to get graying out of hardwood. Boiled linseed oil. There you go. Dust Devil Garage says, howdy, howdy, everyone. Hello, Dust Devil Brian. How are Billy and Ben since the collapse of the roof? What say y'all?
Day by day.
Billy says day by day.
Day by day. Minute by minute.
Yeah, this is minute by minute. There you go. Dizzy has a dent in that spot from a fight. Well, I don't have a dent. I just got a little scar. The swelling's mostly gone still. I don't look like a unicorn or anything, but it's not. I knew somebody to ask. Old McDonald says the 69 looks better than 60. It's subjective. I like them both okay, but I do like that 69 styling. Although, tell you the truth, I like the 68 Roadrunner front end. Kind of plain. I didn't used to. I used to like the 69, 10 out of 10 better, but now I like the 68.
She called and told me that she was going to look at it, but I don't know whether she did or not. John, I heard y'all had a fabulous Captain D's experience.
Yes. We were eating at Captain D's down the street. This employee thought he needed to tell us with warning, like this is going to, trigger you to like a seizure. If he didn't tell you that it was scary when he dumped the ice at the top of the drink fountain. And there's 4 people in there, right? Like 4 or 5 people. So the guy just dumps the ice, and nobody would even notice if he hadn't said anything. And the one guy's sitting at a booth, and he just looks over at us and says, "Oh man, I'm scared to death from hearing that," And then he dumps another bucket of ice, and I'm going, "Oh my gosh!" We're just making fun of it at this point, right? Oh yeah, I mean, that employee was really worried. This is Brian's desk. I'll show this. Can I show this on the live, Brian? Let me know in the chat if I may. I'll show him what you're working on there. So Patrick Floorboard Cheney says, we're going to win that burnout contest. What he says. Left Turn Dodge says, I used to hate the 70 Cornet front end that grew on me. I'm with you on that one. The 70 Cornet front end has really grown on me. Yes, it really has. I like it. Dr. Frankenstein says that it will replenish the moisture in the wood. I'm glad you told me that because I got some hardwood floors that need some attention right now. Buffalo Brian had a 68 satellite. Gosh, I hope he didn't put it in the Derby. Uncle Doob's World. Please tell us about your dart sport. My first car was a 73 Sport 340. And I'll show this, then I'll answer his question. This is Brian's desk tonight, Dust Devil Brian. Sorry for the reflections, but I'm working off the different camera tonight. So this is what he's working on right here. He's using, this is the highest and best purpose for a Ford, isn't it? A desk. Yeah, right here. The Dart Sport. I haven't done anything on the channel in a while. I had Dad helping me clean up and everything on it, and then he died, and I haven't touched it since. I did some sandblasting back here. Oh, by the way, I think the sandblaster might have survived the collapse back there. Yeah, it's we're not going to know till we move some stuff. It probably does have some damage, but it's still upright and everything back there. So yeah, I think it's going to live.
Better than that Mac utility car.
Yeah. But the Dart Sport, I guess for those who don't know, that Dart Sport, the story on it was I would watch that car daily when I was growing up. It was at the gas station down the hill from my house. I could hear it from my house. And it I could hear them. I could hear them tuning on it and everything. And anyway, when the track closed at Princeton, or not, it was before then, it was in the mid-90s, he had sold it to an employee at the gas station, and he raced it. He offered it to me. He said he was going to ask 4. He wound up taking 3. Anyway, it disappeared for a while, and I found it and bought it. It had yeah. It would have been your cousin's husband, I believe. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's your cousin's husband at the time. And they were long divorced, I'm thinking, I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, the car changed hands a bunch of times. And anyway, I found it. It took me 20-some years. I had to ask the guy who bought it from. Anyway. Mohawk says, my grandfather always had Cornet Super Bs. He had a 69 444 speed, bright red. Oh, excellent. Excellent. But that's the deal with the Dart Sport. I've got it on video on one of my channel. But anyway, the car was missing for 20-some years. And I found it, and now it's sitting waiting on me.
You gonna eat anything? You gonna eat anything? You gonna eat anything?
Twisted Mopar says my 73 340 Dart Sport came from California. Left Turn Dodge says there was a silver 70 Duster with a story like that for me, but when I found that it was a junkyard parted out, I about cried. Stuff happens. This one I would have taken in any condition. I told the guy who used to own it, who used to race it, it originally it belonged to to a guy in Rural Retreat. I think it was the Snap-on man in Rural Retreat had it, whoever that was at the time. And so the Snap-on man here, the late Dale Suter, he told the guy who bought it way back in the 80s. Yeah, that's where it came from. And then he bought it. And I have a picture of it from then, I think. Actually, I know a better way to get there. My website's security certificate's expired, but I know it's okay to go to it. Here is the car the way he bought it in the late 80s. And I certainly did not expect to find it in anywhere near this condition. It was running a 752. I think the car's been as quick as 720. But anyway, I would have taken it in any condition, and I found it a whole lot rougher than that, but it's going to be great. We're going to make that Dart Sport great again.
I think you said there's less than 10 feet.
Left Turn Dodge said, I was going to trade my 72 Charger I'm working on now to a guy who had a 71 Duster. Even took the Charger to him. Then Jay backed out. Well, that stuff happens. Does it still have the scoop? Unfortunately, no. They put a reproduction Hemi scoop on it, but fortunately, that scoop that's on there, I believe, is an Unlimited Products fiberglass 3-inch scoop. So I know exactly what scoop it is, and it's still available. But yes, that style scoop is going back on. The car ran a tunnel ram originally, and they took that off and put a single 4 on it, and he will get a tunnel ram again. Patrick says, me and Nate sitting here drinking beer and burning a stump out of the shop floor. Burning the stump out of the shop floor. Well, you don't hear that every day. Levi said, Unlimited Fiberglass makes some killer products. That company that made the scoop on my Laguna. Yep. Well, that's who made that one, so that's what'll go back on it. I mean, Hemi scoops are great, but it just looks terrible on this because that's what's supposed to be on it. Cope with his chicken bone. Howdy. Cousin Cletus is here. Hello. If you've not yet seen, he's got a build going on for the No Name Nationals. It's a build challenge, so go over to his channel and check that out. Cope, are those those instructions you sent me? Are you doing a shift kit that you're getting ready to make available for the public? Is that what that is?
His area code was up around. It was a Virginia area code.
Where the shop will be soon. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'd like to think you don't have a stump in the floor of an existing shop.
And he went to J&U.
Okay.
Cope is greeting the Mopar people in the chat. That picture of the Dart Sport was from where he bought it, and then this is the way he raced it. He raced it in the yellow and then went to the black and teal paint job like this. And then he had sold it to a co-worker there who repainted the teal red. Had a little bit of a loading accident on the trailer, bent the front bumper, just left it off, which probably was better. But the car was a little slower by then. And then the way I found it, it was like this. This is how it was when I found it. But I knew as soon as I saw it, it was the same car. Walked up, verified a few things. I said, yep, no doubt it's the same car, 100%. And it is an original 340 car. It only has like 70-some thousand miles on it, too. It's a legit low-mileage car because it's been a race car since the inspection sticker on it is 1983. So it's been a race car most of its life. It's only about 10 years old last time it was inspected. I don't know what Brian's showing me here, but he's showing me proper tire clearance. Billy, you'd be proud of Brian's tire clearance.
Still a lot of room.
There's still more room.
Yeah. Fill the gap there.
Right, he needs to fill the gap. I wondered. I mean, he'd sent me that. I just wondered if you had a product in development. The yellow is classic. I like it. I like the yellow. But I've got too much yellow going on as it is. If that makes any sense. Dizzy says 3450. I'm assuming that's the weight of the Vagrant. Is that what you're talking about there? Now, did I see while I was looking for that? I knew it. I thought I had seen Mopar Den slide in here. It says good evening and hello to all in the chat. Howdy, Mopar Den. Dennis, do you still have your 72 satellite? Your low mileage 72 satellite?
You're trying another brand of cat food.
No, it's just all I had. I didn't make it up.
Oh, wait on his car. Can't make it by Tractor Supply for food? Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Dust Devil says he has a set of wheels with 3 inches less backspace. So if I want, they can stick out 3 inches more. Well, that sounds like it right there. Vagrant's 3050. Okay, that sounds more like it. I didn't think your car was anywhere near that heavy, Dizzy. So that sounds a lot more like it. 3050. Brian's got 3 inches less backspace, so they can stick out 3 inches more. Well, now you got to get them widened 3 inches to the inside so you can run 3 inches more tire. All on the outside. Thing will look like a rolling pin. Lone Wrench Garage, hello. You're closing in on 1,000 subs. You'll have that before you know it. Indirect J says, I'm talking Crispy Critters into coming this year. He can only be a spectator, but I told him that's fine by us. What's his channel about? Twisted Dennis says, my race car weighs in at 2960 with me in it. Race ready. That's good and light. Is that the Duster? 2960?
That's a pretty sweet tune. She had and somebody went to the extreme of putting LED headlights in.
What do you guys think? Billy's talking about LED headlights in classic cars. Yay or nay?
Saw one in the Chevette yesterday.
He saw one in the Chevette, which I consider a Chevette to be a classic car now, a bona fide classic car. All right, what do we think? What do we think on LEDs in classic car? LEDs in general, but LED headlights. Mexican Spec has my comments exactly. No! Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they look hideous. Twisted Dennis says nay. Dumper says yes. Got 2 no's and a yes, 3 no's to me. Levi likes them, of course, because Levi's about 14 years old. I have them in my car, but it's not a classic. Okay, that's a half. That's a half. I'm surprised this is more evenly divided than I thought it would be. Mopar Dan said, sold the 72 Cornet in the fall. A collector from Michigan wired me the money and sent a trailer here to pick it up. Okay. Would it have 27,000 miles on it? We got a nay from Lone Wrench. Danny Boyd said, as long as they look the same as sealed beams and aren't blinding, I guess, but they don't. They don't do either. Peckerwood Custom likes the LED, but not in clear-faced assemblies. Okay. Big Mike says, absolutely not. Patrick says, as a blind old person, I'm about the LED. Mohawk says, not a fan. Cletus says, yes, why not? But he also has a Tesla. Let's keep that in mind.
Oh.
Left Turn Dodge thinks they look bad, but he would do it if he was driving it. Yeah, I guess. Tim says no. Dizzy says no unless there's no other choices. Frankenstein likes them. Racer says not in my classic. Ron English says incandescent all the way. Oh, Thumper likes the worst kind, the one that has the surround LEDs.
Or the halo.
Oh my, there's nothing worse than that. There's a guy that has an 87 to 91 Ford truck in Christiansburg that has that in those, the LED surround.
Yeah,
In that,
I've seen
it looks horrible. My gosh. Oh, and the truck is just primered and stuff too. Looks like he has more money in the headlights than the rest of the truck.
eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing more no's than yeses. Unfinished project says get these guys some kerosene lamps. Camp Del Buffos is mixed on it.
I hate the blue ones the most.
How about
Yeah,
LED
blue
taillights? Yeah, I'm not for any of that. I'm just wondering. I'm going to say the chat's about 2/3 to 1, 2 to 1, 2/3 to 1/3. No, which gives me faith in the humanity of this chat that's mostly old souls. Old McDonald said only if they flash blue and red. No, I don't want anything flashing blue and red behind me. I don't know if it's incandescent flashing blue and red behind me. That means it's a really old police car and it might be cool.
I miss the old spin.
Yeah, exactly. Thumper says I run LED taillights in all my Pontiacs. It's easier to wire up and keep working than 1157s. Maybe. Definitely not a rear camera to help back up. Well, okay. Hey, camera, how much room do I have? Crunch. I don't know how much faith I have in those things. It's like they're looking through the peephole in the door that gives you that fish-eyed perspective. But I would love to use a backup camera to back up a trailer sometime, or not to back up a trailer, but to hook up a trailer. Mm-hmm. I just feel like that's the ultimate cheat code. Mm-hmm. You know, just being able to. Oh yeah, that would be just way too easy. Get better quickly, Don. Thumper said, I haven't done a camera yet. I should, since I only have a mirror on the driver's door and tiny rivers. Yeah, the camera, the best thing I would want for a camera would be for backing up to hook up a trailer. Old McDonald said, I wonder now if any 68 darts became police cars. I've never seen it. But I'll tell you what, is it not mega cool when you see a 68 or 9 B-body police car? They are all super cool. Racer Races, I do have LED bulbs in the front markers of the 59. I tried them for taillights and hated them. I'm just not a fan. Indirect Connection has the Sylvania Silver Stars as low beams on the Belvedere. Yeah, that's what I have in the CRV, but that's the CRV. Danny Boyce, the 2005 Mustang needs a backup camera. Yeah, I'm sure you can't see out of the back. I have driven one of those, but I can't remember. It's been so long, but you can't see out of the back, I'm sure. Indirect, Jason says when Jay is decent, he's up to no good. Jason's not up to no good. I don't believe that. He's a good dude. Good people. Left Turn Dodge says camera is the biggest reason I love to pull a trailer with my wife's Grand Cherokee. Yeah. With a light trailer, it's easy enough to cheat. You can just pick the thing up and move it. But you can't do that with like a car trailer or something. You really have to be under that hitch ball, and you don't have much room to talk. Yes, this happened. No big deal. Wasn't bad. The 71 Mustang will need a camera to back up. You can't see out the rear windows. I've never driven one of those body style Mustangs, but considering how small all the glass is, I'm sure you're right. I don't like that. I like a sedan back you can actually see out of. You don't have a lot of visibility out of something like a Dodge Dart as it is, but you got more than you do with, say, a Duster, Demon Dart Sport, that style. The CRV has really good visibility. It's got big windows all over. I do a lot better with that. And their trucks have good visibility too. They like that short of the Ford truck.
I saw
For
it.
those that haven't seen it, I put up a short on one of their company trucks. We were taking it up to do some work, and I just looked over and I did a triple take. Does this thing really have 476,000
We
miles
did
on it?
477 in Beckley yesterday.
Gosh. You know how many days Ben would have to drive a truck to get 477,000 miles on? Ben, you could drive that truck for 345 years and never get that many on there going up and down the avenue.
Yeah, on the way back, I looked and I said, ooh, 477.
The one-eyed cat says, I don't trust cameras. I don't even trust mirrors. Yeah, you really shouldn't get dependent on that or just mirror glancing. You really need to look over your shoulder when you're changing lanes. I do trust mirrors, but I'll tell you what, though, that camera's got its place. Mr. Quicker Inch tried AI this week. Don't recommend it. It almost got a strike. I'm so not into AI. I think it is a blight on YouTube. Mohawk saying, I think the headlights depends on the rake of the car, too. Yes, it does. Mohawk would know. His car's got steamrollers on the back. Mohawk, what is it you have to do to change tires on the back of your car? Do you have to take the shocks loose? Is that what you have to do? To change tires on the back? Might sound a little crazy, but have you ever tried just airing the tire down to where it's literally just flat? And then does that give you enough to get them off without taking the shocks off? Yeah, AI is scary, sketchy. It's I think it's a pollution on YouTube. I really do. I'm glad they quit monetizing that stuff because it puts out a lot of misinformation. It's a mess. And there's a lot of young people who, we have a generation that grows up with this stuff. They're not going to understand why it's so bad.
Jim all got hot dogs, and they all got sick. But Teresa's about 3 o'clock. She's still there. I told her, yeah, I don't eat any lunch from food. I don't eat bread.
Left Turn Dodge used AI to make his logo. Not a fan, but it did get the job done. Yeah, I see a lot of people using AI for stuff like that. But you're seeing AI that people are using to make informational videos, and the information is wrong. That's the problem I have. And the other thing about AI, too, like you'll see somebody trying to use a scene, like when they want a classic car lot, for example, and this Ford truck, you can tell was made by AI because it didn't get things just right at all. It had a mismatch of different year stuff. When I think of AI making images and people and stuff, it's like the music video to Black Hole Sun. You know, everybody and everything kind of looks like that. It just looks a little weird.
That's a Shannon Farmer song.
There you go. That's why. He's calling his brother weird. Shannon, if you're watching, get in the chat. Tell us how much you like us. I think about once every 50 years he does look at my channel. I think he does actually. No, he did. Shannon, unstick yourself from your couch and comment on here if you're watching.
Like Velcro.
Yeah. And send me a picture of your 71 Ford truck. I'd love to find a picture of that. I would love to find a picture of that truck he had.
That'd be a great starting off picture for your videos.
We'll just call it an interference fit when you're backing up. How about that? The red for maybe. I don't know. Lone Ranch Garage says using AI does not make you a content creator, but that's my opinion. I would agree. I mean, it is what it is. Mohawk said the tires only had 10 pounds of air at Sykes and not enough weight to squat them. 10, but aren't those, what kind of tires are those? Because 10 sounds awfully low inflation for like a street radio or something. Y'all can let me know. Sounds to me like it might be. Not quite enough to even keep the tread good and flat on that tire. Not on a slick. Mr. Quickridge said 4 hours of editing with AI just to get it right, then popped up with a copyright strike. Had to pull. Was it a strike or was it a copyright claim? That's two different things. Yeah, that's a good point, though. The AI will get you copyright strike because somebody else used something similar and it created the same imagery, so they posted it first. You didn't even know about it and get a copyright strike. I can see that being entirely possible with AI. Dumper was running the McCreary dirt track DOT and ran 7 to 10. Okay, Don English says no orange paper, but we're at 259 days. Should be. I would think I would have 258 back here if memory serves. Somebody wants to look at last week, subtract 7. There we go. See, I knew it because we're 265. So actually, as of right now, we're at 257 days, 2 hours, 53 minutes until the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. I'm sure the farmer boys are already registered.
There was no number.
Well, I hadn't played. Well, we got. Do you have anything orange here? Like I see those orange stickers. We'll make us a number and put back here, huh?
This national. There you can do pink tonight.
Oh no, it's got to be orange. It's got to be orange. You know, if you got an orange posted around here, I could put a number up for these guys. I'll put 258. I could write it on the side of an orange nailer. So, there's an orange cat.
Yeah,
He's running. He's running.
The number's on her.
Let's see here.
There's a piece of orange.
Okay, there you go. That's it. That'll be the number. We'll put the number up. Got a marker. I'll let you put the 258. We need a 258 on there, and I'll stick it up for them. We're gonna save the orange number. Thicker wood air and it says bead locks. Be able to do it with spray paint.
You don't get high.
Danny Boy was wondering if the cat would make an appearance. Well, it's right.
She was here just a minute ago.
I can do this. I think I can do this. There you go. We'll say hi. Well, I did it. I didn't worry about moving this because this is actually off the laptop cam tonight. I don't have my regular camera. Thumper says next year I might do the 6-cylinder class. If I do, mine will dominate.
Come around, let her in there. She wants in there.
You can't push that door open?
No, she's special.
Jethro will walk through it like it's not there.
Right, there you go. Yeah, she actually said thank you. So, all right,
Here we got it.
there you go.
We got it. Thank you. All right. Let's see, I'm gonna put this up. There's your 258. Let me. Got a piece of tape. Oh,
Gotta put it somewhere there.
this is like completely dead. Like adhesive.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's no sticking on that.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can find something there.
We need a piece of tape, or I could plastic weld it. Look at this. Bill's actually getting to do the number. They'll hold it in my hand for another 51 minutes. Go for it. We'll just station Billy back there with it. He can just hold it the entire live. How about that? This is a shop, man. Anything can be done in here. Anything. RTV. Yeah. Bill's got it. So see, you just look here and you can see where it's the invisible. All right, the USS Billy comes in and it's going to mount it right there. Don't mind move that thing. There you go. Perfect. We got it. We got our orange paper. 258. Thumper says lick it and stick it. Don't say that while he's behind me, thank you.
Okay, I'm going home. Peace out.
All right, later, Billy.
Later. Oh,
Yeah, I would, but you know that paper came off the floor. It was just laying there. These guys are good friends of mine. I have known them over 40 years. We went to grade school together. That light could have helped all your lighting problems. No, not that light. You gotta have pretty good diffusers on them because they have to be out in front of you. So no, I got plenty of light in here, but what I need is just some shadow canceling light. And that one, those bright LEDs as work lights, no. Mexican Spec, I'm subbed to all 3 No Name 500 channels. Oh, yes, the No Name 500 guys. So the Mid-South Lowballer, Left Turn Dodge, and mostly Mopar. So if you are not yet subscribed to those channels, go check them out. Mean Street Mopar, an alumnus of the No Name 500. You realize how many times around the earth that white truck has been? I mean, if you do the math, it's been around the earth about 20 times if you were to drive it around the earth. Wow. Hot Rod Guy Garage, Russell, hello. Really dig that Mustang he did. You can see there at his thumbnail. This Mustang right here. Upper says, why would I sub to more Mopar channels? Heresy. Why not? That's the distance to the moon and back. Is that about the same? The distance to the what is the distance to the moon, Buff? I guessed we're about a 25,000 mile circumference for the Earth. How far are we from the moon? Does Stumper have a quiet car? Probably not. 93 million miles, no. That might be the distance to the sun. I don't know. I don't know offhand. Levi says, can we guess who's going to have the biggest successful wheel stand at No Name Nationals? Well, how do we define successful? I mean, a wheel stand is when there is daylight between the bottom of the front tire and the track. In my opinion, it's got to be on both sides. If you have daylight under both front wheels, that's a wheel stand. That's successful. After that, it's all just how much air, how long a hang time, whatever. Buff says about 200,000 miles to 250,000 is an elliptical orbit. Okay, so it changes. So your truck has been to the moon and back, literally. There you go. Thumper says circumference of the Earth is 24,901. So I was close. I was guessing between 24 and 25,000. So it's about 250,000 miles to the moon. 225 or so average because it's an elliptical orbit. Yeah. Don says the moon is between 225 and 252,000. So your truck has been to the moon and back. The CRV has been to the moon and on the way back. And it's going to break something over the Atlantic. God, the front end of the CRV sounds so bad. Oh my gosh, it sounds so bad. I got a CV axle about to just completely exit the chat on that thing. And the bad news is you can run a CV axle bad for eternity. Like you can run one bad for years and years and years and years and years. But when they break, you can break a transmission. You can take transmission out when they break. So that's what I don't want to have happen. I'm actually kind of starting to look. I'd like to find a wrecked CRV 2002 to 2004. And I am going to park that thing out, chicken bone it all the way down to nothing. And I need to do that. I think that's going to be my best bet. Bigfoots and Mopar says, Little James of SSR won the wheel stands to Krusty Nova in 2024. Boy, that was a great wheel stand. That thing did. My gosh, you aren't kidding. That was my personal favorite. Even though Jaron Long, they drug the back bumper on that Dart, but still, I think that good power wheelie on the spray was outstanding. Levi says must be judged on height, distance, and how well it comes down. In other words, he's wants a wheel stand that looks like what his does. I'd say it doesn't matter any of that. I'd say it's just completely subjective. Once you got daylight under both front, that's what I think. T's Good Times Garage. Howdy. Hot Rod Guy Garage says, Levi, are we going to see a Bumper Dragon 499 from the Laguna? Well, you can probably see one or the other. You can either see it going on the bumper or you can see the 499. I really don't think you'd see both at the same time. Typically, things that run in the fours don't do that. Thumper says, I have a slightly rusty 06 CRV. Yeah, but which generation is that? Because I want my generation of CRV. And the body on the thing is fine. It's in good shape. It doesn't have any rust on it at all. It's just the mechanical's getting, showing its age. It's 377,000 miles. So. Levi wants a 499. You'll have to take a lot of weight out of it to get there, but it can. Kerosene cucumber, it takes sunlight 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth, if I remember sixth grade science. Speed of light is 93,000 miles per second squared. Isn't that what it is? Something like that? Something goofy. I can't remember exactly. 93,000 miles per second. Is that I had that right? It's some astronomical number like that. I don't know. Number CRV is rusted where the rear subframe bolts on. Okay, could be 186. That's it. I couldn't think. I'm thinking 93 million miles to the sun or above. Isn't that what I'm thinking? You're exactly right. That number eluded me. 186,000 miles per second. I knew that speed of light. But the 93 I'm thinking is 93 million to the sun. Is that right? It's 93 million miles to the sun. Yeah. The 186 sounds right, but I'm seeing 183, 193. That 186 sounds exactly right. I knew it was something like I just couldn't come up with it. So while we consider light instant, it's not exactly. It takes the light, like you said, 8 minutes and something to get here. Danny Boyd said, if you can travel at the speed of light, you won't age, I think. Hey, you were right, you won't age. You will probably just vaporize. Mohawk says, currently we're 91.413 miles from the sun. 91.413? I don't think so. We're talking in million, right? So Wrong English says, okay, the new tech question is, okay, 91.5 million. Okay, I was in the ballpark, the order of magnitude. I'll say if we're 90 miles from the sun, we're pretty much liquefied by now. Johnny C says, my car will never achieve it. That could be said for a whole lot of things now, couldn't it? Danny Boyd says they, who is they? They say nothing can go faster than the speed of light, but they don't know for sure. It's irrelevant to me, the kind of terms you're talking about. Wrong English says, how fast is electricity? That's a good question. I know just enough about electricity to be dangerous. Yeah, I was working in my rental over there doing subfloor and has that nice heat pump, just comfy. And I don't have a heat pump where I live. Make sure the alignment is really good. Yeah, I would think for that, lots of caster. Barrow's Garage swings by. Hello, Barrow's. If you're not following Barrow's build, he's got a pretty cool Corvair build going on over there. I'm enjoying that build, and I'm enjoying the Valiant El Camino build on Buff Del Campo's channel more than I thought I would. That's actually turning out pretty cool. Turning out better than what I was expecting. And Barrow's it's really doing well too. I'm liking what's going on with both of those. So Mean Street Mopar reports he sold his 86 Dodge D150, the one that had the flare and 904 in it. Money will go toward the W2 318. All right, man, point of no return now. Don English says electricity is from 50 to 99% speed of light, depending on the medium. Well, there you go. And Kerosene Cucumber says electricity is the same speed as light minus the wire resistance. Good way to put it. That 86 D150 was pretty cool, man. W2 318. Boy, that's going to be a screamer. You going to run Triple Crown with that? W2s are cool. There's a lot of people don't want to do anything with iron heads, but those are really cool. I'll give you that. Evans Mopar Scott electricity travels 186,000 miles per second. Learned that when I wired my house. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have that number right. I had the distance to the sun in my mind. I'm usually pretty good with that number on the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Knowledge at our fingertips, the parts you got to like. Yeah, I'll tell you what, which is great. The problem now is with so much misinformation, it's got to vet what you get. Danny Boyd says, I love rewiring a house. I guess I haven't done it enough. Well, you want some work? I got one for you. Yeah, I've gotten caught with new code stuff, everything else on mine. They want a ceiling fan box in every light, everywhere a fan could fit, which is stupid. Got to put these in all over the house. So much stuff. So Mean Street Mopar saying this 318 W2 motor going an 84 D100 with a 4-speed. Okay, put that in the Diplomat. I'm going to have a good shot. Of course, Triple Crown is already running 720s, right? Well, is that 84 D100 going to be there? Danny Boyd says, I think only one of the 5 ceiling fans in my house isn't on a modern ceiling fan hanger. Yeah, they just want the boxes put in for them, and kind of ridiculous. Lars shows up. Hello, sir. Left Turn Dodge says, I was told I couldn't run my W Series heads because the valves are canted. Mine are W9, however. Yeah, those are serious heads. Mohawk's dreading to having to run a new ether line under my house for a new computer in my studio room. Yeah, I had a tape measure I wanted to retrieve that fell through the floor when I was working, and I had to go the whole length of that double wide in a crawl space that you could sort of walk, like kind of duck walk. Imagine like Chuck Berry trying to get underneath the AC duct, the sewer line. Anyway, I finally got back there, and then I just touched the back walls to say I made it all the way. But it was something. It was got my tape measure right. And the thing is when you're out there, you're 20 miles from anything you need. It's a problem. So, Hot Rod Guy Garage says, I predict Triple Crown will probably be considerably faster this year with the determination I'm seeing from – oh, no doubt about it, like anything. You do something, give it a few years. Our 28-10-5 class started off slow, and then we had somebody knocking on the door of the 4s in it. We don't run it anymore. But Triple Crown will be the same way. It'll get crazy fast, and that's how that one will be. Left Turn Dodge says, I only have $1,000 in that engine. Maybe I'll put it in the low bug wheel. That W9 head engine, that's pretty good if you only got $1,000 in that. Those are not cheap heads. Mean Street Mopar said circle track rules are weird. Yeah, I guess. Big Block 402 says he got his registration in. Indeed, he did. He is registered. If you're not yet registered, there's a link at the top to register for the No Name Nationals. It's right up there at the top. Heavens Mopar Scott says, I completely rewired 2 homes that passed code, but still can't figure out how to wire a car. I guess I'll get all confused with ballasts and relays. I would rather do car wiring than house wiring, but it's harder to get to, but it seems simpler and more intuitive to me. Johnny C says, it's eerie under houses or crawl spaces. I worked this summer with an electrician. My job was to remove knob and tube wiring. Why? Just leave it. Just leave it in place. Just wire around it and leave it. I don't even know why you need to take it out. And you know, the wiring in knob and tube is actually great. It's just that jacket that falls apart. The wire itself is great. Danny Boy says a relay is just a switch extension. Levi says if we see a mid-6 in Triple Crown, I'll be highly surprised. I won't. Big James will probably say he'll be in the 6s. And then we'll see some other people too. Just off the top of my head, I was thinking of him because it's his team that won. Racer's asking if Brooks going to be a 690. And don't forget the Nelsons are threatening to do Triple Crown too. Thumper saying, don't do automotive wiring the way you do AC wiring. You'll cause fires and problems with the wire nuts. I would agree with that. I do not like wire nuts. I think they're a terrible idea. But they're everywhere. They're not going anywhere. NSB Customs. Hello. How you guys doing? Racer Race said I'd be all sorts of happy with 750. Yeah, sure. Big Block 402 says, we have about 5,000 of upgrades going into Gold Barracuda. We are looking for a win. Uh-oh. Look out. Yep, they wanted it out. Just a 20-year-old kid doing. Yeah, I agree. I just do what your boss says. But I mean, I don't know. I see houses where they'll save a piece just for nostalgia. Like we listed a house one time built in 1860, and they left a section of knob and tube in the wall and built a glass window over it. It was non-functional, but they left it in place just so people could see it because it is kind of cool to look at. Thought that was kind of neat. I don't know why they did that, but they did it. I mean, it was cool just to display it. It was right at the top of the stairs. Thumper says, "House vehicles vibrate and move. Houses Mosley don't." This is correct. NSB says, "Got to get back this YouTube game. We're coming in hot for 2026." Yes, they are. And in fact, NSB Custom Cars was in the top 10 registrants for the No Name Nationals. 2 vehicles registered, so they are planning on coming for it. You guys in the chat, how many of you are registered right now for the No Name Nationals? I know lots of you are. But if you are, just let people know in the chat, yes, you're registered. Just show people who all here is currently registered, because we got a lot of registrations so far. Doing good on registration numbers. Linco Lee, yes, indeed. Indecisive Jason, yes, he is. Indecisive Garage, rather, not Jason. When I see indirect connection, indecisive garage, and sometimes I do that in my mind. I actually do that quite often. But Tim is registered. As is Big Mike, Hot Rod Guy Garage, waiting on money. Understand. But you know, the thing with Russell is he is like reliable as a Glock. So I would assume we'll see him. But Big Mike is registered. I need to register. Are you? Yeah, I know you'll be there. Mostly Mopar is, and he's running the No Name 500. He's leading the No Name 500. If you've not yet checked out Mostly Mopar, please do. He still needs, how many subs does Mostly Mopar need? He's getting close. He's well over 300. The One-Eyed Cat is registered. Stinger Salvage has yet to. Left Turn Dodge is also in the No Name 500. He has over 300 subs. He's running second. Mid-South Lowballer rounds out the field. We've only got 3 No Name 500 at the moment. Racer Ray doesn't remember if he registered 1 or 2. Well, we can find that out right now. You registered 2. Racer Ray has 2 cars registered right now. Indirect Connection says he's registered for 2. Tanya will be there the whole time. I'm not sure if I will get there till Saturday. We'll see. Okay, well, you know what? We'll see what happens. We'll see what plays out. It's going to be a great time. Mohawk will be soon. Buff will on the 21st. Culture Redneck Kyle, I'll get registered soon. Got to be there for that 3-pedal party. Yes, you do. Indecisive Garage, we register each car or driver both. Each registration includes 1 car and 1 human. That's how it works. Big Block 402 says, I'm driving the Red Barracuda and Triple Crown. Yep, and Lars puts up the link to Mostly Mopar. He is leading the No Name 500, and will he be our first alumnus of 2026, or will Left Turn Dodge? Guess we'll see. Or will the Mid-South Lowballer shoot past them both? Rangers is now to decide which 2 cars. Indecisive Garage says, I'm planning 3 cars and 2 drivers. Okay. Right on. Indecisive Garage is okay. Got it. Dust Devil says, I was 4th. Yeah. Yes, technically, yes. So on my registration list, I technically have Lars first. But as far as the way the registrations came in, I've got Dust Devil Garage at 4th. Yep. And ahead of him was 38 Racing. He's the one that saw registration come up before anybody. Vintage Adventure Drives, Indirect Connection, then Dust Devil Garage. And then Mopar's, Mustangs, and Minivans. Twisted Mopar Garage, NSB, Thumper, Rabid Transit, J, and Unfinished Project. Those channels were the ones who made the first 10 to come in after the site opened. Here is the link to the Mid-South Lowballer, running 3rd in the No Name 500, and Left Turn Dodge right between the other 2 at 322 subs. Thumper says, I need to figure out how to get 2 cars down there. If someone can do it, it's Thumper. Racer Ray saying longer trailer, ramp truck and trailer. There's a lot of ways to do it. Evans Mopar Scott's not registered yet. Will be soon. I'd do it now, but I'd miss the rest of the live. Well, we just give you a friendly reminder every week. We post a link up there. So however y'all want to do it. Main Street Mopar wants to see that W9 motor, as do I. That just sounds really freaking cool. Is Unfinished Project going to make it this year? I'm going to screenshot this and send it to him. I'm going to send that to him at 1:35:24. I'm going to send that over to him and we'll ask him, because I don't see him in here tonight. Although he's always lurking. He might have seen that. Lars is good like that. Puts up the links for everybody. T's Good Time Garage. Would love to get 2 cars out there. Should be something new in any case. Oh, yeah. T's Good Time Garage going to bring something cool. We love having T out there. He's just one of those positive people that makes you feel better about your day just by being there. Racer Ray, just sub to Mostly Mopar. 1 sub at a time. That's how it works. Big Block 402 likes the 81 Challenger, like on Mid-South Lowballer's thumbnail. Drove one in high school. My cousin had one of those Japanese 80s Challengers. Kind of neat looking. They are. I'd like to see something like that in a rear-wheel drive, like a 318 904 configuration. Yes. The Robot Ninja was just in here a minute ago. Maybe so. Yeah, he's lurking. You never know. And I'm going to send him that. Mostly Mopar says, I appreciate it, y'all. We appreciate you. It's a rear-wheel drive car. I couldn't remember was it a 4-cylinder with a 904? The 4-cylinder 904 like on the D50? Is that what it had? I couldn't remember exactly. And then what kind of rear end was in it? I don't know exactly. 2 points. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So it had. So in other words, it's basically like a D50 is kind of what it's like, right? The One-Eyed Cat says No Name Nationals wouldn't be the same without my Continental Kit Valiant. Indeed, it wouldn't. There would be something conspicuous by its absence. Buff Del Campo says I'm sub to all of the No Name 500 channels. Good deal. Yep, I am too. Like the Conquest, the non-turbo. I'm just, those names are just vaguely familiar. Indirect Connection says, I think the jack stand needs to be a permanent part of the car. Oh my gosh, don't encourage him. We don't want to see that happen. Mid South Lowballer says, I have a soft spot for the 80s Dodges, and he uses it in quotes, which is exactly how he should. Very good. There's a Rampage peak in the latest video coming. So, okay, cool. And the fuel cell Don has in his car, oh, yeah, which is super cool. It's made out of an 18-wheeler gas tank, isn't it? Or diesel tank, isn't it? It had some kind of epoxy holding, the seam together. And to Don's credit, he took it out, had it welded, did it right, put it back so that he could have all the cool and it be safe. Kudos to him. Don has a winning attitude. We told Don, things about tech and Don just got in there and did it and has really brought his car to a whole other standard now. That car is so much safer, stops, steers, everything. It's just so much better now. And it's getting quicker and quicker. Now, this year, he had a lot of bugs to sort out. Next year, we're going to see that Valiant throw down a number. So, looking forward to it. It's a great story, the No Name Nationals. It has just grown every year. Big Block 402 only had 6 Dodge Conquest TSIs, almost got a divorce over one. Let me guess, it was the 6th and final one, right? Main Street Mopars also subbed all of the No Name 500 containers. Don confirms it was a straddle tank cut down to 20 gallons. It's a healthy size gas tank. Gosh, that'll get that car 50 miles on it. Dr. Go. They call him Dr. Go. Just subbed the left-turn Dodge yesterday. I'm late, but just finished working with a 9-year-old fixing his electric scooter. He learned how to use a DC meter. His smile was priceless when it worked. Oh, that's great. I like that. I wish I'd learned to use a meter earlier in life. And there is Unfinished Project. He knew he was lurking. How about a Dart Sport update? All right. Well, the question was asked, what are the odds Unfinished Project is going to make it to the No Name Nationals? So let us know. Johnny C's first car was an 84 2.2 Charger with a manual transmission. Would love to have it today. I could have bought one of those for $400 when I was in trade school. It was a rag, but it ran good. It was still all together. Big Block 402 said pulling the 273 out of the red Barracuda and putting in a nice 360 should be a decent runner. I would say so. I like the little 273, but that 360 is going to make it scoot. Yes, there we go. Indirect Connection asks again. There you are, UP. Are you coming this year? I sure hope so. Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly says, guys, well, hello, sir. Heavens Mopar Scott. Don, did you find the rear end for the Valiant? Well, I sent him that post of yours of that picture. Junkyard D, what did Deke think of the tank? Going through tech. Yeah, what did he say specifically? Mid-South Lowballer says the Challenger shares the same rear end as the D50, I believe. I'm thinking so. I think you're right. Main Street Mopar. Unfinished Project. You don't want to hang out with us? Catching some heat. What say you? Yeah, so Adam at Indiana Garage, aka Hoosier Garage, he's been cutting down some of these, I guess truck 8 3/4 that they're fairly cheap and making them A-body size, and then he sells them. So there's a good source if you want an A-body 8 3/4 made from a bigger one. NSB Custom says, I will bring a 6-pack of Cheerwine and a case of Stones just in case Unfinished Project makes it. Well, I sure hope he does. And Unfinished Project puts up the link to Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. Hello, sir. One Cat says he was happy, passed tech with no problem, but that's because Don really got up on the rule book and did everything he was supposed to do. And so now Don just breezes tech. Don is the model for a good attitude about passing tech. He's the model for it. Dean says the axle was a universal item. The Starion brothers used the same differential center pinion and crown wheel on some versions because Mitsubishi. How tough is that axle? Does it hold up to anything? Racer says they'll let anyone in, and Rich was there last year. Well, sort of. Rabbit Transit Garage says a guy local to me has an A-body housing with Yukon axles for $400. That sounds like a deal, Don. Right there. You may want to, if you can do that, that's not a bad deal at all. An actual A-body housing with Yukon axles for $400, that's a deal. Of course, just getting it to you, that's the big one. But I'll tell you what, I was just thinking, if Jason and Jay come down here again, may be able to work some logistics and help make that get to Don. Number says I'm Aztec because I can't hook enough to be a problem. That's another way to do it. That's a good way to back into it. Did Rich get to go down the track? I don't believe so. Rich should have gone down the track. Unfinished Project said, I paid a bunch of money for an 8 3/4 A-body sure grip. Yes, you did. Even came with a free car. Evans Mopar says you can buy 8 3/4 axles through Dr. Diff for $300 with bearings, lugs, and everything. I mean, if that's an A-body housing with those axles for $400, that's going to be hard to beat. Main Street Mopar had a C-body 8 3/4 cut down to A-body specs for my Duster. Can be. Of course, the thing with the axles is, I believe on the C-body, the way they're necked down closer to the spline, if you try to shorten and re-spline those, you don't get full spline engagement, or at least not the full height. On a truck, I think the axles don't have that neck down portion, so those could be shortened and re-splined. Of course, nobody's doing that. They're just buying aftermarket axles now. And that's what you need to pass tech anyway. So the big one is just housing. Brian Beeler of the Round 'em Up is in the house. Hello, Mr. Beeler. Good to see you. Big Block 402 said our 87 to 89 Conquest were 215 horsepower. Yeah, those things, I'm sure they could scoot. That's a lot of power in something that light. Patrick says we're drunk and going to get off here. Nate said, happy birthday. Have a good night. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. You be careful on those dangerous back roads of flipping Arkansas. Lars is not sure, but Rich did hit the porta potty. Yes, he did. Main Street Mopar says, I'm going to have to buy new axles. Dr. Diff is the way I'm going. And Dr. Diff does great. I got to tell you, though, those Mark Williams axles, I know they're like crazy, ridiculous, expensive, but they are a work of art. Left turn Dodge is, I think, 68 to 70 satellite cornet, or like an inch wider. I don't know right off the top of my head. It's not much, but it's a little bit. Now, that B-body rear end actually fits pretty nicely in a Duster, Demon, Dart Sport, that body style. But if you run the regular A-body rear end, you have more fender and can run deeper dish wheels and all of that. But if you want to run stock wheels, the B-body rear end fits in those big back end A-bodies, the 70s, just fine. Still have the half-inch difference per side on spring seats, but other than that. Big Block 402 says we're giving TTI some business as well. Crazy prices, though, Mopar tax. It's not just Mopar tax. I mean, headers are ridiculously expensive everywhere. I mean, they're just stupid expensive no matter where you go. Levi says Motion Raceworks bought Mark Williams. Not sure if the quality will be the same, but likely will be. I would hate it if they would ruin it, because I got to tell you, Mark Williams stuff is just, I've always just thought it has been a gold standard. Michael Schmidt, hi all, popping in on a long drive home. Hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Glad you're here. Danny Boyd said, trust Motion to do it right. Yeah, they probably will. You just never know. I mean, I know for years and years my carry ammo was Corbon, and then the Pie family sold Corbon. And, you know, I don't know. I hear good reports out of what's going on now. But, again, you see people do it for over 20 years, and then you got to wonder, you know, what's the new owner going to do? Is it going to be the same? They're going to cut corners? Because they now have the right to change stuff up. Big Block 402 says, I don't see Cletus changing the quality. He knows what Mark Williams is. Dust Devil Garage says, I'm running a 67 rear in my Duster, and if I put human-sized tires on it, it would be fine. Well, there you go. Bigfoot Mark says, I just got my custom length axles and 742 rebuild parts from Dr. Diff, 1350 yokes and U-joint. Now my drivetrain is complete. Everything I need except a car to put it in. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you bring, Bigfoot Mark. I think it's going to be great. Engine Light Garage says, well, hello there, everyone. Got a nice new thumbnail I see. Is that AI made? Where'd you get that from, Chris? That little light bulb over a V-Series engine? Main Street Mopar says, I'm going to call Schoenfeld and see if they can make a set of 1 3/4 W2 headers for my D100. Going to weld some W2 flanges on the truck headers I have for now, though. I will tell you, man, smaller steps, achievable goals. This 257 days, 2 hours, and 8 minutes is going to be here before you know it. So if there's anything that you have an easy thing to do today and upgrade to make later, I will be taking it. Left turn dodge is mostly Mopar. You're at 340. Better get a screen capture of that. You're a number weirdo, aren't you? There. Can't say that I'm not, but 340 is a great number. But it's 160 fewer than you need to go down the track at the No Name Nationals. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I couldn't see Mrs. Engine Light Garage, but she's in the house. Left turn dodge, 327. That does nothing for me. I can see that. So if anybody here is not subscribed to Left Turn Dodge, check him out. He's on my main page. He wants to get off of 327 for obvious reasons. As a Mopar guy, I can see him liking 330 much more, and I can definitely see him liking 340 even more. But he's on his way to 500. So if you're not yet subscribed, go check out Left Turn Dodge. Exactly. You have to go to Mopar to Cadillac to get it. That's right. To get in the race. That's correct. Big Block 402 says, I would have done a Conquest engine swap years ago. Now it's hard to get a 2.6 since 89 was the last year. So the question is, I'm sure somebody's done it. How does a small block fit in one of those? The person says, I'll remove my subs at 326, which is a Pontiac number, therefore cool. I actually thought that. I wasn't going to say it. Left Turn Dodge says, I will get there. Buff says 327 is a great number. I can't disagree with that. I mean, if you're going to be talking about X brand, 327 is a great number. I'll give it that. And Left Turn Dodge will get there because he's made out of the right stuff. He registered early, doing his stuff. He's going to make it. You always know who's going to make it. Some people, you wonder if they'll make it and they do. Some people, you know they're not going to make it and they don't. Some people, and the sub count's irrelevant. It's all about them and how they are. Left Turn Dodge is going to make it. I can't imagine anything that can stop that guy. He's tenacious. And it's January. He's going to get it. Buff said my Cougar had a 327. Yes, it did. And that thing is freaking cool. And you know what? I like that car so much. I've seen pictures of it. I like Buff's I like Camp Del Buffo's do this. I got a way I can do this without putting Buff's contact up on the screen here. There's Buff with his 327 Cougar. What year is that picture, Buff? What year would this be? Guy had a Cross Ram 327 and a Cougar and did that swap in a weekend. What year was that? Let us know. Jay said, John has my number. Rabbit Transit J is number 1. Engine Light Garage, I got a 1.0 I'm going to try and race in. You know what? That can be consistent. That could be a threat in the bracket if you do your part. Evans Mopars did the same thing at 340. It's my favorite engine. Aren't 340s just majestic? Aren't they great? Danny Boyd, looks like the Cougar was Caribbean blue too. Maybe. Indirect connection. I've been saying Jay is number one for over 30. Yeah, I bet you have. Mid-South Lowballer says, I appreciate the sim and I'll get to Sykes even if it's as a non-racer. Oh, you'll get your 500 subs if you just stay at it and make content. You'll get there. You'll get there. I mean, the only thing that ever stops people is quitting. You can do it. Left Turn Dodge says, before I found my Mopar love, I did have a soft spot for Cougars and even some Mustangs. I mean, look, we all like a lot of these cars, and we appreciate them for what they are. They're, they're just great. Like I think the Ford Fairlane is a great looking car. I like them. I like the Chevy 2 Nova, just fantastic. I like the Vega a lot. I just think they're great. They something very nostalgic about those. I wish Mopar had made, and they American built like Hamtramck or whatever, had actually built a Chevy 2 size muscle car. The A-body is a little bit bigger than that. Like the Falcon, the Chevy 2, the Vega, I like that size, just a little smaller than the A-body. You got to remember, an A-body was considered a compact car back then. It's the same size as a Dodge Intrepid 30 years later that was considered a full-size car. They're both 16 feet long, 3,300 pounds. Why was one a compact and one a full-size? Just a change of the times. Hot Rod Guy Garage says, can't have quit in your heart and you will make it easy. This is correct. Hot Rod Guy Garage is a guy you take advice from. Big Block 402 says 500 subs is easy, especially in this community. Just make videos, you'll get there. Do some shorts along with long video. You got this. He is correct. Advice from people who have done it. Max Wedge Dictaster, just don't be like me, you'll get your 500. Where are you on subs, Max Wedge Dictasterly? Matthew Ward subscribes to Left Turn Dodge. Cool. These days, my Duster feels like a truck. Yeah, no kidding. Subs shorts can work for subs too. Shorts work for subs, not watch hours. You want the subs. Yeah, well, you can try a medley of things. Shorts used to just be, all about subs, but I think that's slowed down a little bit. I don't know. The main thing is make a mixture of content, engage the community. It's just 500 subs. You'll get it. It's not that hard. The winning attitude can do it. Big Block 402 says, I had 68 in January my first year, and by July I had 500. Just get in front of the camera. There's a guy who did it right there. There you go, Left Turn Dodge. You might get 340 tonight. You probably got to be close. Left Turn Dodge says, I have a short that's got me 50 subs. I had a short last year that got me over 1,000. 335 for Max Wedge Dick Dastry and 330 for Left Turn Dodge. Well, 330 is a year of as a model of the Polara there. So there you go. You got a Dodge number now. It'll be short-lived, but 331 is also a Dodge number. So if you get one more, it'll be okay. You get 10 more, you'll be loving it. Engine Light Garage says, I'm in Coldwater. Okay. Mid-South Lowballers in Memphis, hence Mid-South. How far are you from the Memphis, that Coliseum there? What do they call that place? Is it Memphis Coliseum or does it have a different name? Mostly Mopars at 340. Yep. Guys, we're at our time. Been a blast. Still got 53 people in here. I would hang out with you guys longer, but Ben has graciously let me agree to broadcast here from Larry's pneumatic service, and I really appreciate that. This was not planned. We've had a great crowd tonight. Been a lot of fun. Just didn't have everything I needed with me to have my regular professional setup that slightly camouflages everything else that doesn't look good, but that's okay. But anyway, had been a great crowd tonight. If you are not yet registered for the No Name Nationals, there is a link pinned at the top of the chat, and you can register right there. Don't forget, when you register Edelbrock Incentives, you get 10 to 15% off everything in the Edelbrock catalog at edelbrock.com. Also, don't forget to watch Tech Talk Live on Wednesday nights with Professor P in Dallas on the Slant Daily Garage channel. That's also a great place to ask your Triple Crown questions. But you guys have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing all of you again next Friday night. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you then.